video, we'll discuss about sentence similarity 3. So first let's understand the question. You are given two strings, sentence 1 and sentence 2, each representing a sentence composed of words. A sentence is a list of words that are separated by a single space with no leading or trailing spaces. Each word consists of only uppercase and lowercase English characters. Two sentences S1 and S2 are considered similar if it is possible to insert an arbitrary sentence, possibly empty, inside one of these sentences, such that the two sentences become equal. Note that the inserted sentence must be separated from existing words by spaces. Given two sentences, sentence 1 and sentence 2, return true if both are similar and false otherwise. So what they are saying is, if you are given these two sentences S1 and S2, and you need to check whether you can make them similar or not. How can you make them similar? By inserting any arbitrary sentence which can also be empty in one of the sentences. So if you see, this is my name is Haley and this is my Haley. So now here my and Haley is common. The only thing that is different is this name is. So if we insert this name is arbitrary sentence here, then our two sentences will become similar, right? So in this case, our answer will be true. But now let's see for this case. It is written in the description that whenever you are inserting an arbitrary sentence, it should be separated by spaces from the existing words, right? So that means whenever you are inserting name is here, then you have to insert a space before name and the space after name, right? So in this case, if you see, this frog and frog is same, only the S is different and then this R is different. So what is different in both these sentences? This S and R. So that means to make them similar, you will have to insert S and R. But since in question it was written that whenever you are inserting the sentence, you need to separate them with the existing words with a space. So this will actually look like frog space S space R and cool. So this is not equals to S2, right? So in this case, we cannot make S1 and S2 similar. So our answer will be false. So now how are we going to approach this problem? So here, if I start from the beginning, I see that my and my is similar. So when we check for my and my, we can mark them with something. Let's suppose I remove them from the sentences. So now my remaining sentences, name is Haley and Haley. Now in this, Haley and Haley is similar, right? So once I started from the beginning and I compared the words till the words were same, I removed them, and as soon as I encountered two words which were not same, or when one of my sentence got completed, so at that time I will stop. Then I'll check from the end. If I start checking from the end, then this Haley and Haley is same, right? So I'll remove that as well. Next it will check is, and here S2 is already iterated complete, right? So here we are not left with any word that is not encountered yet. So in that case also I will stop. If there was some word here, let's suppose XYZ, then this will be compared with XYZ, but since they are not similar, I would have stopped there also. So now in S1 we are left with name is, and in S2 we are not left with anything. So can we say that we can insert this name is here and our answer will be true. So I started from the starting. I compared the words till those words were similar. I compared them and I removed them. As soon as my words became unequal or one of my sentence got completed, I stopped. Then I started from the ending. I compared the words till they were equal. I removed them, and as soon as my words became unequal or one of the sentence got completed, I stopped. Then at the last, I am checking what is left in my both sentences. So in this case, this sentence is left and here nothing is left. So we can insert name is. So here answer is true. In this case, if you see, if you will start with frog and frogs, now these are not same. So you will stop here itself, right? Then you will start comparing from the ending. So here cool and cool, these are same, right? So we will remove them. Then you will compare frog and R. Now these are not same, so you will stop here. Now you will check what is left in S1 and S2. Now in S1 frog is left and in S2 frogs are is left. Now you can't insert anything in any of these sentences to make them similar, right? So in this case, our answer will be false. So there would be one more case where both the strings are my name is Haley and my name is Haley. In that case, when you will start from the beginning itself, you will remove all the words, right? At the end, both the sentences will become empty. So in that cases, our sentences are already similar. So we will return true in that case also. So here, what we were doing, we were starting from the starting, we were comparing the words, then we were starting from the ending, that is from right to left, and then we were comparing the words. So we need something. We need such a data structure which gives us the ability to access elements from the starting as well and from the end as well. That means we can move from left to right also and from right to left also. So that capability is given to us by DQ, right? So in a DQ, so let's suppose this is a DQ. So here, this is the front and this is the back. We can always access these front and last elements. We can insert or pop elements from the front. We can insert and pop elements from the back also. So this is what we are looking for. So what we'll do is, whatever sentence is given to us, we'll split that into words on the basis of this space. The logic how we are going to split is that we'll check later. So let's suppose I got two DQs, which are my name is Haley. This is the first DQ, right? So these words are its elements. And then I got a second DQ, which is my Haley, right? This is my D2. Now I will start from the starting and I'll compare the words. So I'll check that is D1 dot front is equals to D2 dot front. So in this case, it is equal, right? So I will pop these elements out. So I will do D1 dot pop front and D2 dot pop front. Now this name will become front element of D1 and Haley will become front element of D2. So now I will check is D1 dot front is equals to D2 dot front. So it is not. So we'll stop here, right? Now we'll start from the back. This is the back of D1 and this is the back of D2. So now we'll check is D1 dot back equals to D2 dot back. So yes, it is. So we'll pop this. We'll do D1 dot pop back and D2 dot pop back. Then we'll check. Now this is will become the back of D1. But here in D2, our D2 is empty now, right? So since we are left with no element in D2, we'll stop here. Now if you see, in our D1, we are left with two elements and in D2, we are left with 0 elements. So that means whatever elements are left here, we can insert them in the second sentence. So our answer will be true. If in case both of these are having some elements, then our answer will be false, which would be in this case, in this example, right? So this is how we are going to approach this. Now let's talk about the logic of splitting this sentence into words on the basis of space. So see, if I am at a space, then that means whatever is the word present before that space, whatever characters are present before that space, that is one word, right? Then again, if I am at this space, then whatever characters are present here, this is one word, right? So on the basis of this, I can split this sentence into words. So what I'll do is, I'll create a helper function, let's suppose split. This will accept a string in its parameter, okay? And this will return a DQ and that DQ will be containing our words. So we'll create a DQ which will be of type string and D, right? And then we'll create a string which will be word. So this will store our word. Initially it will be empty. Now we will loop for every character in our sentence. We'll check for every character, right? If it is a space, then that means we have got one word, right? So how we'll get one word? Whenever we are looping, when our character is not a space, that time we will keep on appending it in our word. We'll do word plus equals to C. So whenever you will encounter a space, your word will be containing the characters before that space, right? So when I come at this, my word will be having the value mine, right? So I'll simply do that whenever my C is a space, I will check that is my word empty or not. So if my word is not empty, right? What I'll do? I'll do D dot push back what? Word. So now this my will be pushed in the DQ. And then we'll make the word as empty string again. Right? Now once this loop is completed, once we have traversed the entire sentence, if you see for this word Haley, right? My word will be containing all these characters Haley, but at last there is no space, right? The loop will stop at y after y itself. So at the end also, we need to check that if my word is not empty, right? Then you push this word in our DQ, right? We'll push this word in the DQ and then we'll return D. So when you will call this function over both these two sentences, you will get the corresponding DQs of these two sentences containing the words of the sentences as their elements, right? So now let's code this solution. So first of all, we'll create a helper function which will return us DQ. Let's name it split. It will receive a sentence. Then we'll create a DQ here. We'll name it D. Then we'll create a word string which will initially be empty. And then we'll loop for every character in our string. If we'll check that if this is a space, then check if my word is empty or not. If my word is not empty, then do DQ dot pushback word and make the word as empty string again. And if it is not a space, my character is not a space, then keep on appending that character in word. Then at last, I'll check again that if my word is not empty, then push it in my DQ. D dot pushback word. And at the end, we'll return D. Right? Now, we'll call this split function for both our sentences. So we'll do DQ D1 equals to split sentence 1 and then we'll create another DQ D2 and we'll split sentence 2. Right? Now we will loop from the starting. So while my D1 is not empty and my D2 is not empty, right? And D1 dot front is equals to D2 dot front because we are comparing elements from the front right now. So we'll keep on comparing them and until these conditions are satisfied, we'll keep on popping them. So D1 dot pop front and D2 dot pop front, right? Then we'll compare from the back. So we'll do while D1 is not empty and D2 is not empty and D1 dot back is equals to D2 dot back. While these conditions are satisfied, we'll pop them from the back. So D1 dot pop back and D2 dot pop down, right? And at the end, we'll return D1 dot empty or D2 dot empty. Why we are doing D1 dot empty or D2 dot empty? Because see, I told that if both the strings are empty, right? If both my strings are empty, then that means they were already similar. So we'll return true. If one of them is empty and one of them is having some elements, then also our answer will be true because the one which is having elements can be inserted into the empty one. But if both of them are having some elements, then in that case our answer should be false. So we are doing D1 dot empty or D2 dot empty, right? So if my D1 is empty, then it will return true. If my D2 is empty, then it will return true. If both are empty, then also it will return true. And if both are not empty, which is this case, then it will return false. Right? So now let's run this. So it's running on the test cases. Now we'll submit this. So it got accepted. Thank you so much for watching.